Good morning, Hosho staff, students, and families. Yate Bena. Ready to start our day? So everybody please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Our voices are off and our bodies are still. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, January 29th, our last day of school in January for 2021. Already moving on to February. Okay, so Mrs. Neff has left us some music to listen to. Do you remember the selection? It's been last week and this week. See if you remember. Do you remember? The composer is Claude Debussy, right? Who also had Clair de Lune that we've listened to in the past. Well, what's this selection called? En bateau, petite suite, right? On the boat. Isn't it interesting how we say on the boat instead of in the boat? Or we say in a car, we don't say on a car. Just interesting thing about the English language. Okay, friends. This is a selection, and it was somebody's birthday this week, and I want you to listen to this and tell me whose birthday it was. Okay, what were we listening to? 12 Variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And who was the composer? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Also famous for this piece that we listened to. Eine kleine Nachtmusik. That's Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And Mrs. Neff, I think we'll probably listen to his selection. She had chosen him for this week because it was his birthday. I think he's like 240 something years old if he was still alive. And but perhaps he'll be our selection for next week. Another selection from Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. But speaking of birthdays, we do have a few to announce. Today, Adriana's having a birthday. I hope you have a great day. And Allie's having a birthday. I know Allie's watching. She comes into my office from time to time and tells me all about the music and the art, so I know she's watching. So happy birthday, Allie. Hope you have a good weekend. And this weekend also, Annalie's having a birthday. Happy birthday, Annalie. I hope you all have a good time. Lots of cake. Okay, so for artists, who's our artist this week? American artist, portrait artist, John Singer Sargent. That's right. Remember his first painting that I showed you was Edward and Marie Louise Payon. And remember we talked about how we can see their personalities and how there's a contrast with the soft brush strokes and the detail of their little faces. That's a good one to get a close-up look at. And then we also met these ladies, the daughters of Edward Darley Boit. Right, we met those ladies. Very similar to Velázquez's painting, remember? And we looked at yesterday El Helio, the ruckus, the flamingo dancers, lots of same tones, whites and darks and brush strokes, and we have a couple of things that, like there's this little orange here and a little bit of color. And remember, the thing about that painting is that it's 12 feet by 7 feet. Amazing. And now this one seems a little different to me. This is also a painting by John Singer Sargent. It was painted in 1885 to 1886 because he took 2 summers to paint it. And he painted it outside, and this is a portrait of his friend's 2 daughters. And that technique is called plein air, where you go outside and you take a painting of or a portrait of somebody outside, and it has to be the light is best around sunset. So we have this piece of that John Singer Sargent painted of his friend's daughters. It's very pretty. What do you think? It's called Carnation, Lily, Lily, Rose. Very pretty. Carnation, Lily, Lily, Rose. And you can see there's brush strokes, but some fine detail, and it's something you might want to take a look at online a little closer. Perhaps one day when we're back in school, these will have pictures and portraits on the wall. There probably won't be one that's 12 feet by 7 feet, but we'll see. Okay, next we have our Bill of Rights. We're memorizing those the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, because our U.S. Constitution is very important to us. We are the people of this government, and oftentimes if you're watching TV or if you're seeing the news, you'll hear people refer to their First Amendment rights or their Second Amendment rights or their Fifth Amendment rights. You don't hear about the third too often, but those are important rights that you need to know. So we are memorizing them. So let's say the first one together. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Third Amendment. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. As kids, you probably have a journal or a diary somewhere, and wouldn't it bother you if somebody came in and just took your stuff and started reading it or sharing it with other people? And that's why we have those protections, because as adults, it's even more important that we feel secure in our own homes and our papers and effects, that people cannot come in and just take those things away from us. Okay, Fifth Amendment. This one we're still learning, so let's do this one slowly and say it together. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Right? That's the first part. We're not going to be brought up on charges for something, a serious crime, without first presenting the information to a grand jury, so that nobody can just go bring you to court and threaten to put you in jail forever, or to take away your life even, without the due process of law. Okay, then this is also about the due process of law when we say, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. Once you're tried, that's it. You can't go. They can't do it again. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Okay, those are the first 5 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. So we'll start with maybe Amendment 6, starting on Monday, and a poem. We missed our poems this week. Okay, friends, for announcements, I did send out a notice for parents to help me with a survey, a form to fill out. If you can ask your parents to make sure they get that to me when they can. Report cards did go out. If you didn't receive your report card, you need to call the office and we'll find out what happened to it and we'll get you another copy. 7th graders, big news. You can come back to school starting February 8th. So if you want to come to school for in-person learning and you're in 7th grade and you haven't had a chance yet, come on back. We're going to have school in the morning and the afternoon, just like we do for the rest of the school. And nothing else is really going to change. I know the governor gave an announcement about schools reopening, but what that meant was that schools could open in hybrid, which we were already doing for kindergarten through 6th grade. And so now we can just add 7th grade to that list. So if you'd like to come to school, sometimes that's the best way to get caught up if you're feeling behind. And if you got that report card, you saw some incompletes, maybe coming to school is a good idea. Okay, friends, that's all we have for today. So let's say our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today and a great weekend.